They're evil, shape-shifting entities who stalk the land. What are the Skinwalkers? Welcome to Friday Night Ghost Rides from Haunted Road Media. I'm author and ghost historian Mike Ricksecker. Explore with us. First and foremost, Skinwalkers are an ancient Navajo legend. But the Navajo custom is to not discuss Skinwalkers publicly for fear of retribution. So what we know about these types of entities, we have to take with a grain of salt. Are we sure we have the Navajo legend correct if the Navajo are not supposed to freely discuss it? That said, let's get into it. Throughout the American Southwest, the legends of Skinwalkers thrive, with most stories originating in New Mexico and Utah. Skinwalkers are shape-shifting entities that live in and amongst the tribe. Originally a medicine man or a shaman who has chosen an evil path and takes the form of an animal to inflict suffering on others. In order to become a Skinwalker, the shaman must be initiated by a secret society of other Skinwalkers and is required to kill a close family member. They wear the skins of the animals they transform into, which is why the Navajo insist the tribe not wear the pelt of any predatory animal. They don't want to mistake the Skinwalker as one of their own. Skinwalkers are laden with many special attributes, including mind reading, controlling thoughts, the ability to jump high cliffs, and they are supposed to be able to outrun cars. They are said to be able to control night creatures such as wolves and owls to do their bidding, and can also reanimate the dead to attack their enemies. Witnesses who report Skinwalker encounters report seeing anthropomorphic creatures that are half human and half animal, and the encounters are quick and sudden. For instance, in one encounter, a man and his nephew saw a large deer on the side of the road, and when they got closer, it leapt over a nearby fence with two legs that looked human. Many have reported seeing canine-type skinwalkers, creatures having the head of a dog or a wolf and the body of a man. One man even reported an encounter with a skinwalker that had a dog-like body, but it had a human head and human hands and feet. It had bright white eyes, and he and his cousins encountered it on a path in the woods one night. Although they were paralyzed with fear, the Skinwalker sprinted away into the woods, away from them. Many people also report seeing the canine types running alongside their cars, thinking a dog is chasing them. But then they look and are shocked to see the human traits of the creature intertwined with the animal. Some people believe encounters with Skinwalkers will form curses, and those who cross their paths will suddenly suffer from bad luck, nightmares, and health problems. Cleansings from good Native American shamans are sought out in these cases, with rituals and sacred smoke to ward off the bad energy given to the victim by the Skinwalker. When talking about the mysterious Skinwalkers, people often want to know more about Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. Native American legends have always told cautionary tales about this desert prairie land. In 1864, a land dispute between the Navajo, Utes, and the US government broke out. The Navajo ended up becoming forced out of the area, blaming the Utes for helping the US government. In turn, the Navajo cursed the land and called upon the Skinwalkers to populate the area. Since that time, Skinwalkers have been said to roam the desert prairie. Cattle mutilations have become rampant. People who dig on the land have been known to become extremely sick. UFOs are commonly reported, and cloaked beasts have been seen running across the land. Buildings on the property have become haunted with poltergeists, with objects suddenly disappearing and reappearing days later in odd places. Like a hairbrush that ended up in the freezer, groceries that had been put away ended up being put back in the bag. And a rancher one time was using a post hole digger, put it down for a moment so that he could take a short break, turned around a second later, and it was suddenly gone. 3 weeks later, he found it stuck up in a tree. People hear strange voices throughout the property, and some buildings seem filled with people who just can't be seen. Some believe that the high level of UFO activity seems to trigger the Skinwalker activity at the ranch. When UFOs appear, footsteps will suddenly be heard outside the house. Then dark humanoid shapes are seen in the windows. Then the footsteps are heard inside the house. And finally, some entity is seen standing at the end of the bed. A Skinwalker, perhaps? One earlier owner in the 1990s reported seeing a wolf-type animal in the brush line that caused the calves in a nearby corral to panic. However, one bold calf decided to stick its head through the fence, and that's when the wolf decided to pounce. The owners shot at the wolf as it tore at the calf, but it didn't faze the predator. Finally, after the 5th shot ripped through the flesh of the wolf just started casually walking away. The owners went after the wolf, tracking it through the countryside. Finally, in a muddy area in which the wolf's tracks were very distinct, the tracks just suddenly stopped, as if the wolf had just suddenly vanished into thin air. When scientists presented the owners with photos of various types of wolves to determine which one they saw, they chose the dire wolf, which has been extinct for about 10,000 years. This has led some people to theorize that not only may the ranch be cursed by skinwalkers, but it may actually contain portals to other dimensions of space and even different points in time. See our video on portals and vortices for more information. There's so much supernatural activity going on at Skinwalker Ranch that the past 2 owners have dumped large sums of money into paranormal research at the property. Numerous cultures from around the world have described legends of shapeshifting entities for millennia. The Greek gods were able to shapeshift. The jinn from Arabic legends are tricksters and shapeshifters. This also includes Loki in Norse traditions, Celtic fairy lore, and of course, there are vampire legends of shapeshifting. Entities like skinwalkers may go back even further. 13,000 years ago, in a cavern in France known as the Sanctuary, is a cave painting that's been named the Sorcerer. It seems to have body parts of multiple animals while also having human-like arms and legs. The Sanctuary's artwork seems to depict magical ceremonies and shamanic work. So could the depiction of the Sorcerer be an ancient skinwalker? I often get asked if skinwalkers are a type of shadow person. If skinwalkers are real, then they may be most closely related to the crawler-type shadow person, since the Navajo term yi nadushii means with it, he goes on all fours. This is probably the biggest reason why some people ask me if skinwalkers are a type of shadow person, but there are some other similar traits as well. This entity's ability to read minds and control thoughts seems somewhat related to the Hat Man type shadow person, who uses a telepathic means to instill fear into a victim and then feeds off that fear. Yet, given these related traits, I would still say a skinwalker is its own type of entity. They are, after all, still human shamans who have gained the ability to change their appearance. While skinwalkers may have a few sinister qualities that some shadow people also possess, there are still enough dissimilar attributes, including their origins, to put them in a supernatural category all their own. And for more videos of supernatural activity, please check out our other videos off to the side. I'm Ricksecker. Until next Friday night.